rolled into town, people like fascinated about us making this movie in a small town with real people.
You have a better chance of getting struck by lightning than a movie coming to a little town like this.
How on earth do you make a movie for $250,000?
Wow, TV and film actor and director Corbin Bernsen stars in a 6-episode docuseries about the making of a film he starred in 13 years ago called Rust.
It was truly a journey of faith, and that's the title of his documentary. Corbin Bernsen joins us now live to talk about this project. Thanks so much for being here.
Hello, Indiana.
Hey, hey.
This docuseries reveals some, I don't want to overstate it, but miracles that transpired while you were making the film Rust. Can you share some of those miracles with us?
Well, you know, the entire thing was just from the conception of the entire thing to the filming and all of it was a miracle. Just even how I got to this small town in Canada with 1,100 people to make a film using all the real people in town, and they funded the film. Little did I know that I was on a journey of faith, but I need a farmhouse to burn down in the film, and they showed me 7. I needed a red tractor one day, and one shows up. And those are small, little, minor things, but it's hard to describe. It was so cold at one point. The real faith came in here is that you're up against such great odds, and the only thing that will get you from this moment to the next is just having faith. Just keep going, keeping one foot in front of the other. Trust the path you're on. Trust what you're doing. And all of that, if you add it all together, really became my journey of faith. It became my resurfacing, my reinspection of a faith that I had had all my life, but really concreted it for this, part of my life thereafter. And it's just, faith is it's a wonderful word. It just means have faith. I mean, it's so hard in this world, and everything you guys report every day, you keep the faith. But faith is that, just keep the faith.
I love the fact that you are being so transparent with us, especially on your faith journey, because I draw a lot of inspiration from that. After your father's death during the filming, you questioned the afterlife, humanity, and faith. Did his passing affect you in a different way from your mother's passing?
Wow, you make me teary. Yeah, it just opened up my father's was the first experience with a parent passing. So it was, okay, wow, what gives? What's this all about? You can conceptualize it all you want as a kid. But when it happens, it's there and you're like, all right, so it's so much more, especially for a guy like me who's been blessed with a wonderful family and a career and things and stuff. George Carlin used to say stuff, that it's like, okay, there's more to this thing. There's just something greater. My father's sort of opened that door up. My mother was a reaffirmation of good. I was blown away that I was not terribly distraught over her death. And I keep saying, why? When I left that room and I saw her and I realized it would be the last time I'd ever see her, it wasn't as difficult as I ever thought it would be, because she embodied everything that was good about humanity. And she passed that on to me, and I realized it was now mine to take with me going forward. And so there were very different things, but she was all that's good in this world. Sometimes I thank God she was taken before a lot of what we see now, which she'd be pulling her hair out at, even internally in our own country, which I just find just so disheartening, let alone our relationship to the world. But you have faith. You have faith. There's purpose in all things. I keep having faith.
That's amazing.
And beautiful. I wonder, getting back to Rust and going back to the town where you shot this film, what was that experience like? How many people were still around that were a part of the original project?
No, we didn't go back and film it. What happened was, after my father's passing, like I said, this door opened up, and I wanted to make a film about, for whatever reasons, all the things coming together about midlife crisis. I was in my 50s. I knew my father was a certain kind of guy, and I think he had suffered from a little bit of midlife crisis and deviated from the family, if you will. I'm not going to say much more on that. But I wanted to write a story about midlife crisis, but I didn't want to do what I called the red Ferrari story. It's like, hey, baby, I'm done with you. I'm going to go buy a red Ferrari now in my 50s and, date young girls. I wanted to do some other story, and it hit me to write a story about I said, who else has a crisis in their life like this? I said, maybe somebody of faith who has a relationship with God. And they wake up one day and go, you're not talking to me. I'm not talking to you. The world is all messed up. I need to be with you right now, and you're not there for me. So I made that story about a pastor who walks away. And it's a very long story. We don't have time for it now, but how I found myself in this little town of 1,100 people up in Canada and Saskatchewan, who funded this film, who'd never acted before. I wrote this film for that town, for the people that I met there, and had the good sense or the wisdom or the guidance to have it film the entire journey of what we did. We shot 300 hours of film. Journey of Faith, the documentary, is actually all the footage that we shot while making the movie. We went back there for a few more interviews more recently, just to, when you're making a documentary, you got to plug some holes of footage you don't have. But the people are still there. The man who plays my father, who you'll see in the documentary, Frank, he's passed since. That kind of broke my heart. I would love for him to see this. He was just so wonderful playing my father. He wasn't my father, but since this had so much to do with my father.
And it's such a meaningful story. Corbin, your intention with this, man, we're just so inspired. Thank you for being a friend of All Indiana. And we want to remind people your docu-series, Journey of Faith, is streaming on pureflix.com. Thank you, my friend. Come back sometime soon.
Thank you very much. Love to all.